it happened that while I was there was something called a Clemency hearing for a prisoner called Antonio James, a Hispanic prisoner. And a number of us from Clive's office went to the prison which is called Angola, about, I suppose, 50 miles from New Orleans. And Sister Helen Prejean, who wrote Dead Man Walking, was there, and I knew her because she'd spoken to Lifelines back in 1992, and also Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins were there, who were, of course, involved with the film of Dead Man Walking. And it was a bizarre spectacle. There were, I suppose, 100 people in the room, a panel of 5, who were there to assess whether or not to accept a plea for clemency and make a recommendation to the governor. It was really just about Antonio's last chance, and clemency is extremely rarely granted, but you go through it clutching at whatever straws come your way. Antonio was then 40 or 41. I doubt that he'd ever spoken in public. He was guilty. But I think he'd been through his process of coming to terms with himself and what he'd done. He had to speak up in his own defence, plead for his own life. And then his sister was asked to testify on his behalf, and she managed to utter one sentence and broke down. The enormity of the whole thing was too much for her. In a way, doing so was more telling than anything she could have said. Then we had a break, and Sister Helen took me by the arm and said, "I want you to meet Antonio," whom she knew quite well. And I said, "I don't think that's a good idea. His mind's going to be elsewhere. He's fighting for his life. He's trying to think of what he's going to say. He doesn't want to meet some total stranger from Britain." No, so she said, "You come." So she sort of dragged me through the throng. We went up to Antonio, and she said, "I want you to meet young Arriens who founded Lifelines." And he spun round and he said, "Lifelines?" He said, "The 2 women from England who have been corresponding with me has been one of the best things in my life." That he was able to say under such huge stress